What's up everyone, it's Nick again with the BuzzLux YouTube channel, and today we're having another knife video. I've been trying to pump out more and more of these knife videos. I figure, hell, I got tons of them, might as well make some videos on them. So, all you knife guys, got some good stuff coming up. Alright, today we're looking at a Buck Vantage Pro model. So the Buck Vantage series, they have the Buck Vantage Select, the Buck Vantage Pro, and one more line, the Buck Vantage, the name escapes me, but it's more of a tactical style blade, a thicker blade, and different blade design, and different handle scales and whatnot. Force, Buck Vantage Force is what it's called. So this is the Pro model here, and this is also the small. Now, it's interesting because the larger model is it's definitely bigger than this one. This one definitely is a small, but as far as blade length go, it's not too big of a difference. I think it's less of a difference in blade length and like the persistence to the tenacious. But the handle wise, it's a lot smaller in the handle than on the full size. So the Buck Vantage Pro series is it's an interesting knife because it's basically the same thing as the Buck Vantage Select series, only with a nicer blade steel and G10 handles instead of plastic and a more budget steel. Other than that, internally with the washers or the washers and the liner and everything, it's basically the same internally. Now the pocket clip on the Pro might be different. I'm not 100% sure because it is a nice pocket clip. So I'd be surprised if they have that on the Select series as well. As you can see here, the blade is just under 3 inches. I think it's about the same length as I got some more recently reviewed knives here for comparison purposes. As you can see here, it's as far as usable blade length goes, pretty close. So about 2.6 inches, 2.7 inches, around there. It's pretty close to the Delica and the persistence. And if we look at this, is the Sebenza, small Sebenza clone. Very comparable in size, right? And that's kind of my sweet spot there, is right under 3 inches. So if I ever move someplace that has knife restrictions or I'm traveling, I can carry whatever knife I want as far as my carry knives go. I do have some that I like, just kind of like, you know, I have other collectibles I don't really carry. It's a new one I got. Awesome knife for the money. Check out my Shiragarov Brothers clone video. Awesome ball bearing flipper. Okay, so anyways, back to the knife. It comes with a S30V blade steel. Let's see if we can get that in focus. S30V blade steel with the Boss heat treating. Boss heat treating apparently is a very good heat treating for the S30V. It has G10 handles. When I first purchased this knife, the G10 actually had some milling, not marks, but milling shavings, I want to say, left over on the inside of these long lines going through it. And it's kind of like a sloppy mill job shaving, so some of them were still sort of connected on the inside. So what I did was I just took a Victorinox toothpick. I just gently scraped on the inside and like freed them all up to make it nice and clean looking. On the inside here, it's pretty smooth here. One thing I don't like about this knife is the liner here. See how it really comes out a lot? It's just very cheap liner design. this is where you can really tell that it's just an upgraded Select model with a different blade and handles, because this liner here is really just, it's sharp and it's just not very good. And also the design of the pivot on this is very Buck Select pivot-ish, because now on the full-size model I don't think people have problems with the flipper, but on these smaller size ones you really kind of have to give it a little flick of the wrist, or you really have to get in there and to push down hard to get to flip out. Like, and yeah, that didn't even work. So you got to start at the top and just really give it some, and it hurts your fingers. I plan on, and if you have one of these or plan on getting one, I'm sure if you put a little bit of grip tape on here, it will hook a lot easier and just be a better overall flipper. You'll be able to flip it out like that, and it shouldn't hurt your fingers much either, honestly, even with grip tape, because you won't have to really dig in as hard. But other than that, like ergonomically, I really like this knife. This is actually my carry knife I carry. And I carry it too because I don't want it to be a waste. You know, I bought it for a carry knife, and it's got this nice blade steel. Might as well get some use out of it. But I love knives that are small like this. If you check out my EDC video, I kind of go over this, but I love when it's like nice and small, ergonomically and weight-wise. But that flipper, and I've tried adjusting the pivot multiple times, and the pressure on you know the bushings and everything, and how tight it is, and it doesn't really help too much. If I loosen up too much, the blade likes to come up to this side a little more. I mean, of course, it is a liner, so if it is going to sway, I think it does go this side as far as blade centering goes. You can see there, it is a little bit to the right. Now, these Buck Vantage lines did have a problem with scraping, but it's my understanding that they fixed it for the most part. And this comes pretty close here, but there's enough room where it's not going to scrape, and it hasn't switched from that point since I've been carrying it or anything. So, you know, Buck's pretty good about their warranty too. So if it does start to scrape, I'm just going to send it back, and they'll probably send me a new one. So that's my understanding of it. But no scraping on the liner at all. It's a pretty fun blade to use, even though the flipper isn't that good, and the liner isn't that good. Just the whole size of it and the feel of it, just it's a nice knife to flip and handle and everything and use. Here's like a little Buck Anvil logo here in blue, which I like. G10's really good. I'd say that this G10's lower mid-range G10. I'll put it that. It's a little bit better than the Persistence. As far as like grippiness goes and feel, like this feels like real G10 compared to this, which feels more like a simulated G10. But it's not like, let's say, like a paramilitary G10. You know, it's not like a real G10. It's more of a mid-range G10. Pocket clip. I love this pocket clip. This is one of the reasons I really like carrying it too. Is this really deep carry, classy looking pocket clip here. It's got the Buck Anvil. It's a very slim knife. It's kind of reminds me of a Delica as far as carry goes, because it's very lightweight, and you kind of forget you have it on you. That's what I like about the Delica. But yeah, you know, it's a good knife for what it is. It's probably one of the cheapest knives you can get S30V steel in, and G10 handles. It's about $50, and I think the next cheapest with S30V would be like a Kershaw something or other. But those are like 80 or something. So you get good blade steel. Of course, the liners and the action and the flipper on the small model, that is, are very Buck Select-ish. You know, it's like a $20 knife, and this is a $50 knife. But the rest of the stuff's really good on it. I do enjoy this knife. Like I said, I carry this knife. I have been carrying it for a while. So You know, I have a bunch of knives. I wouldn't carry it unless I liked it. The full-size one, I'd imagine, is going to be more along the lines of a persistence, as far as like persistence or even tenacious. It might be more. It's definitely going to be bigger. Like handle-wise, it's going to be, you know, thicker than the tenacious or than the persistence. But length-wise, it's probably going to be like the persistence handle length, maybe a little bit more. So it's definitely a bigger knife, the regular Buck Vantage. Yeah, so that's basically the knife here. I give it a thumbs up for blade steel and handle for a budget price. The liners are holding up okay. You know, it's not the prettiest thing in the world to action use, but does the job, and it's classy. I consider this more like a Sebenza as far as like carry goes. Like these are kind of like if you are in a dressy environment, like you're going something where you have to dress more formal, or like you dress more formal for work. These two would be more like a gentleman's folder in my eyes, compared to like these other ones here. So that's where I classify this as a gentleman's folder. I do like this knife a lot, except for the downfalls here, the liners and the pivot and stuff, but still carry it. Thanks for watching.